Hi there. Do you know the difference between Gen Z and Gen X? Okay, no problem. I'll tell you. Gen Z stands for Generation Z. Gen Z are the newcomers, the tech savvy people born between the 1990s and 2010, 2012, 15 ish. Gen X, etched in stone, Generation X, born between 1965 and 1980. I myself am a proud Gen X. What are the fundamental differences? Well, now, the Generation X, which is my generation, we played outside first and foremost. We got dirty. We drank from garden hoses, which Gen X would never do that. Gen Z would never do that. When the pole light came on, we had to be home. If we didn't, we would get in trouble, right? So the difference is that we were outside dirt dabblers. We love to play outside, as opposed to the new generation, the Gen Z, between 1990s born and 2010, 15-ish. Those individuals enjoy being inside. They are more technical savvy. They know computers back and front, hand and foot, right? You ask them anything about a computer, they know. They know about the digital age. The closest we came in Gen X to the digital age was that we had a beeper and we thought we were doing something, right? So from the time that the cell phone came out in the in the late 1990s, then, now we're coming into Gen Z, and these people, they were more inside. They less likely to get dirty, less likely to go outside and play. Definitely not drinking from no garden hose. Definitely. Most of them, many of those are germaphobes and things of that nature. They're free thinkers, whereas our parents told us what to do, and our parents thought for us, and whatever they said it was, that's what it was. And we were less rebellious against our parents than the newcomers, the Gen Z group. Now, what I like about the Gen Z is all of that, period. They, each generation, the previous generation think that the generation after them are crazy. But that's not true. That is further from the truth than anything. So these people, these young men and young ladies, they think for themselves, and I applaud them for that. Their brains work better than ours. But conversely, I want to talk about something that Gen Zers are doing that is actually causing their brains more harm than good. So basically, I was watching the news this morning, and the guy came on who's a scientist. He's a doctor, and they've coined this new term called brain rot. Well, you know what it means when something rots. It deteriorates. It becomes useless. It dies. It's over. It's unfermented. It's just dried up. It's useless. So brain rotten, or brain rot, basically refers to just that, is that our brains are depleting. It's drying up. It's rotten. We're becoming more and more foolish and more dumb on a daily basis based on things that we're doing. And what he talked about was scrolling on our smartphones. We spend a lot of time on our smartphones, and our smartphones are very useful tools for us. But at the same time, there's a negative effect of being on that smartphone all the time. And that is, one, we don't think for ourselves. Two, we're less likely to read, because when you have to read a book, you have to read the whole paragraph or the whole page and then get the understanding, whereas the computer just tells you. You go to ChatGPT and you ask it a question, any question, and it'll give it to you just that fast, much faster than a human brain can think. So the ChatGPT and our phone and Google and all that stuff is doing it all for us. Also, we're using a lot of our time just scrolling, looking at pictures and videos and things of that nature. Some of the things you're watching may be educational or informative and may be helpful, but too much of a good thing is no good. Medicine is good to make us feel better, but too much medicine gives us an overdose and it makes us sick. And so it creates potential harm. Another thing is we spend a lot of time looking down. So therefore we spend time looking down and so much that we're hurting our neck. So a lot of times our neck problems, headaches, blood pressure, vision, and all of that, this mimics being upside down when you're in this state all the time. So you don't want to be looking down all the time. You want to look up, right? You want to look up, okay? Another thing, thumbs and fingers and hand disorders. We spend a lot of time doing this, so if you do the same thing over and over, repetitious scrolling, then your thumb will become numb. So we get these, what we call frozen hands or frozen thumbs from just doing that same repetitious thing over and over. And you're really not looking at anything. According to scientists, is that we spend about, if you were to that thumb thing, we spend on average, the average person is on their phone, spends about 80 miles per year. Can you imagine that you're swiping 80 miles per year in little, because you're doing it in little inches, and inches become feet, feet becomes yards, yards become miles, miles. So on average, and we're talking about young people, high schoolers and college students. We're not talking more so about people who are 50 years old. Although a lot of people who are 50 years old are also, I just have to say this, a lot of you all are addicted to those phones. And it just doesn't make no sense. You're not doing anything helpful. You're not doing research. You're just on there scrolling. And if you scroll for the next 100 years, you'll never scroll. Up to date what's already on them, billions and trillions of pieces of information and videos. You'll never get through it scrolling right now 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for the rest of your life. So you have to have a pause. You have to exercise some level of self-control. Place a time limit on yourself. Maybe say, okay, I'm going to do, 45 minutes or an hour. And especially with your children, place a time limit on them. Maybe they do 30 minutes or an hour. And then you could take that away from them and give them that as a privilege for doing well in the school. If they didn't do good in school, or they got a bad report card, or you got an email from the teacher saying they were acting up, then this is a good time to show them real life discipline. Because if you go to work and you don't do your job, you get fired. You don't get a promotion. So I think a lot of times what we're doing is we're teaching our children negative things, and we don't realize that that's what we're doing. Another thing, when you're out to dinner, or you're at dinner at home, or you're in the family room, you could spend time together, talking to each other. How was your day? What was the highlight of your day? Did anything happen interesting in your day? Let me tell you what happened in my day. I'm super excited. Mom or dad, I aced my science test. I aced my math test. Let me tell you something, son or daughter. I just got a promotion and a raise. How cool is that? Let's go celebrate. This is a celebratory moment, right? As opposed to sitting in the house, smoking marijuana, self-medicating, and scrolling. I don't have time. I don't want to talk to mom and dad. Well, for one thing for sure, mom and dad are not going to be here forever, and neither are you. Love the people that God gave you and spend time with them while you can, because one day God's going to need them back, and it's going to be too late. Some of those apps on your phone, like TikTok, take it off your phone, just remove it. I removed TikTok. I removed it for two reasons. One, because I was spending too much time scrolling, because there's a lot of fun, interesting things, and educational things as well, and informative things that you can watch on TikTok. But my number one reason for doing it is that there's too much back and forth between the United States and China with this whole trust thing. And if the government is not trusting it, it might be a good idea for me not to trust it too. Because what I'm understanding is that it's about who's spying on you. Do I want the U.S. to spy on me, or do I want China to spy on me? Well, I choose to have the United States to spy on me. I feel safer, because I know at the end of the day, the United States, when it comes down to it, the United States are going to have our own best interests, whereas China are going to have China's best interest at heart. And so since I live in the United States, it just makes more sense to me. Plus, I don't need to have all of these people spying on me. Not that I'm doing anything that's all that crazy or malicious or anything that needs to be that private, but privacy is a good thing. And that is something that I can control. Another thing you do is go outside, take a walk. I always say, get some sun in your fun. I know a lot of people say get some fun in your sun. No, the sun ain't mine, but the fun I can control that whether I'm in the sun or not. But while I'm having fun. So that's a term that I coined. I created that. So I haven't heard anyone else say it. Get some sun in your fun. Get out and get you some sun while you're having fun. Nature is calling you. Go out, take a hike, go for a walk. Just be at one with nature. Let your body reset. Let the air just blow through your hair and through your skin. And just take in that fresh air. And do it regularly. Another thing, exercise regularly, at least 2 to 3 times a week. Exercise regularly. You'll look better, you'll feel better, you'll live longer. And by the way, did you know that for every 1 hour of exercise you do, that you get another additional 3 hours? An additional 3 hours added to your lifespan? Say that again. For every 1 hour that you exercise, another 3 hours added to your lifespan. So you do the math. Eat clean sometimes. Don't just eat crazy stuff that you love to eat all the time. Eat clean sometimes. Sometimes. Eat clean sometimes, right? My wife and I, we love to eat that In-N-Out burger. And I think it's the best burger around because, it's never frozen. It's 100% beef. And also their French fries, they cut them. They don't grind up a bunch of mess, put a lot of nitrates and chemicals in them like some restaurants do. I won't call any names, but, we really like to do In-N-Out. And plus the establishment is clean. The workers, their uniforms are white and clean. They don't have food stains all over their uniforms. Their aprons are clean. The floors are clean. Just like, when you go to somebody's house and they just clean up because you come in. All you got to do is look at that floorboard. Look at them corners. Look at the places that they didn't clean. And you can tell if it's a clean house or not. You can tell whether the house is clean. Look at those things, the floorboard. Look at the handle on that refrigerator. Look at the cracks. If they got glasses, look at the glasses and see how many glasses are dirty. And that lets you know, do I want to really eat at this house? Are these clean people? A lot of people in corporate, they like to bring food to work and they call it, potluck. But, you eating out of some of these people's pots that on your own luck. Because if you were to enter into their homes and see how they're living, you probably wouldn't eat. But I didn't mean to get off on that tantrum. I always do. I always like to add a little bit of extra in, but I just don't want to go too far. I hope this video has added some value to you. And if it has added some value to you, then be sure to hit the like button. Drop a comment. I'm interested in knowing what your thoughts are. Whether it's about Gen Z, whether it's about the house, whether it's about exercising, take a walk in the park, the importance of not self-medicating, or if there's benefits to your self-medicating. How caffeine and nicotine help you get through your day, whatever the case might be. I'm interested in having it all. I'm not a doctor, I'm not an attorney, I'm not a scientist. I'm just here to share and shed light on a few things that some of you may not have been aware of. Okay? Thank you for watching this video. Take care of yourself and each other. I look forward to sharing with you again very soon. Bye for now.